Well, privyet, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, comrades of all ages. My name is DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order, Last Days of Europe, as Komi. More specifically, Communist Komi. Komi, with a C instead of a K, if you will. In the last video, we took out Vologda. We started taking out Vyatka. We can do some looting, which I'll go ahead and do. The ambitions of Bukharina. We're also starting to, go after Suslov's voice in the party, and we're doing okay, actually. We'll go ahead and give a war to the Soviets. Actually, do you want to... Let's get working on this a little bit. No, let's do a war to the Soviets. It says something about Bukharina's love for the worker, about her base is composed of self-organized, directly elected Soviets that dot the republic in low-level agrarian or industrial institutions regulating much of the republic's industry. However, that's not to say she does not enjoy broad support, considering that these Soviet institutions are primarily low-level institutions governing local life in the Union. Fortunately, the suggestion of the Soviet and the other minor institutions often go unheard in the party's ideological program. To ignore the organs of the people is to not represent the people, which goes against the party's ideology in and of itself. Bukharina will directly appeal to the Soviet and integrate their suggestions into the ideological program, almost have a voice from the General Secretary to the singular peasant. There we go. And we're trying to take... We'll move in here. They went ahead and integrated Perm and these guys, the Aryans. So we take that. It's more land for us. We might not even need to take Perm at the end of the day. The eagle will never cry again. Whoo! That damn boy! You thick! We'll integrate Vyatka first. Oh, that makes me very, very wet. That is beautiful. God damn. Award to the Soviets. Cease this foolishness. Award to the Soviets. Let's consolidate our territory. Yeah. Our rapid gains of new lands, whether through peace or war, have left the administration overextended. While we have theoretical control over a fairly large chunk of Western Russia, the fact is that there are still many pockets within our territory that operate freely, possibly even against Komi. We must rectify the situation now before we march against the rest for warlords. More funding and manpower will be devoted not only keeping the peace everywhere in our lands, but also our new regional administrations. With this increase of workers and money, the new administration should be able to begin the process of truly consolidating the new lands, bringing them thoroughly under our control. Beautiful. Oh, let's go out. We got some more despotism support. Hello, Comrade Bukharina, Yuri said, excitement in his voice. As I'm sure you know, me and my comrades here are all for local unions. I'm from the metalworkers, Mikhail here's from the miners. He gestured as he to his right at Mikhail. And Anna's with the teachers. They all shook Bukharina's hand one by one. Well, it's very nice to meet you three, Bukharina said, smiling. Let's get down to business, shall we? They all sat down at the table. You all want to know if it's in the Union's best interest to support me. Well, I assure you that you have a right to strike, firstly. Secondly, the Unions will have power in the Congress of Soviets, and the Congress of Soviets will have more authority and power than it has before. So I'm not giving them a ceremonial platform. Bukharina continued speaking, explaining to the representatives how she would support the workers and the unions. Well, comrade, I'll be honest, we've talked to people from different parts of the party, but none of them have been as convincing as you. We'll need to talk to the rest of the unions. While we need to talk to the rest of our unions, I'm confident they'll support you, Yuri said, and Mikhail nodded in agreement. Bukharina smiled at them. Thank you, comrades. Alright, let's go ahead and get to working on integrating Perm. Get more staff. We also need more manpower. Tomsk has unified Central Siberia. Now that is based. Damn, boy. Let's check the influence game real quick. Suslov is kind of hanging in there. Bukharina is catching back up. She was always going to be kind of behind, you know? But what's important is that we're picking back up now. We'll go ahead. We'll do some practical industrial administration. Get some better free repair going. Yeah, here we are. Consolidate our territories. We can go at, let's satisfy the peasantry. The majority of people in Russia are peasants. While there are many who still support us, there are also many who have been corrupted by the reactionary propaganda. We must show the peasants that we are a benevolent force, not a specter that seeks to ruin their lives. We will accomplish this task by providing the peasants with the modern equipment that we can, so that their lives become easier. Furthermore, we will ensure the peasants have access to modern amenities and methods of communications, improving their standards of living. Hopefully these efforts will show the rural people of Russia that we only seek to better their lives, not cast them into hell. Securing a foothold. It'd be funny if I could just eat Gorky up. So we wouldn't have to. Oh, Wallace Bennett. What's going on? I think they passed some civil rights legislation, right? Yeah, token legislation. It's not too bad then. Usually if America passes the bill and they don't elect fucking Wallace after, I think usually you can figure the AI will be fine. Usually. I guess you never know. They might go the gamer path. You never fucking know. You really don't. Satisfy the peasantry. Let's go ahead and integrate Berzniki. Then we'll go ahead and ensure industrial effectiveness. In our conquest, we managed to seize control of a large amount of factories, all in varying states or readiness. While we've been able to get some of them up and running again, there are still many that still need to be properly restored and restarted. Let's focus our efforts on ensuring that these factories can not only function, but function productively. We will also ensure that these new factories have workers who understand the power of communism, as to prevent any saboteurs wreaking havoc. There we go. Oh, there goes Gorky, never mind. Thought they were still alive for a second, but apparently not. Remaining threats. Right, we might be a remaining threat to Samara. Which, if we are, that's probably not good. Infantry fighting vehicles, right? We have some of those, so we can start building a few of these. Why not? We could raid against the Moscow autonomy, really? Huh, that's interesting. I don't think we'll do that. Let's get working on more guns. First and foremost. The liberals have unified Kazakhstan. Very nice. We'll go ahead and replenish the armory. Recent wars have left our weapon supplies dangerously low, and it is clear that we need to restock or risk the supply shortages. We must audit all of the captured equipment and see what can be used for us. Furthermore, we need to start up new weapons factories and restart the old ones so we do not run out of ammunition and rifles at a critical juncture. While this does require us to move our military to a defensive posture for now, it's necessary so we can succeed in conquering the warlords. How many troops do these guys have? It's probably a lot, right? Yeah, they have like a full-blown actual army. So raiding them is a horrible fucking idea. These guys are good to build. So we'll go ahead, set our locations here. Do offensive lines if we so wish. So we're going after Bashkira first, which makes more sense. Since, you know, we're backed by the fucking front. England joined the Einats Pact. Did they go with her?
Margaret Thatcher is in the Unity Pact. Ding dong, the wicked bitches are sellout.
That joke is never gonna get old. And I will hear no comments that say otherwise.
It's a shame the bitch didn't die 87 years ago. It's a shame Her Majesty's most loyal assistants didn't kill the bitch.
Replenish the armory. What else do we got? Scavenge for loot. We could relocate the party. For the recent reconquest, multiple people in the party have advocated for relocation of capital from Siltikfikar to Rykov. While Rykov is a more central location, which would allow us to govern easier, the fact of the matter remains that for relocation of the party is a costly endeavor. We'd have to stage such a relocation so that our government couldn't be wiped out in a single blow. The capital would be closer to our enemies. There are many who argue that despite the costs, benefits moved to Rykov would be immense in the long term. We must resolve this debate now before we must direct resources into more wars against the warlords. I swear to God, when am I ever gonna not see fucking Margaret Thatcher in here? It's getting a little fucking old, I'm not gonna lie. Like, at the very least, we have Macmillan, you know, we got old Harold. Okay, I'll go ahead and edit these plans right here, right now. Because I don't need these guys all over here. What are they up to now? They're extending their hands. Relocate the party. We'll hold off on doing that because I have a feeling something might happen. So I want to be safe. Inspire Soviet patriotism. I ask you, as a humble citizen of this great union, should you, be proud to be a Soviet citizens? It's not an unworthy question. We do not live in a perfect society. Poverty, hunger, greed still remain. We should not judge a society by its current conditions. To do so would paint every union in history as a dystopia without opportunity for change. We should judge society by its ideals, the ideas that tie us together, that march us forward towards a greater future, the fuel for hope, the engine of change. Would we not live in subjugation? Would we not value freedom or liberty? Even if our freedom has not been perfected, will we not live divided and broken without our solidarity, powerless to the machinations of the ruling class? Will we not live poor and destitute, without places to call home, or families to love, without our ambition for true egalitarianism? Will we not live in the darkness of ignorance, the fear of the unknown, without our cosmopolitan worldly natures? These ideas, the ideals of a Soviet citizen, are surely something to be proud of. The act of being a Soviet citizen is an act of bravery in a world of illiberalism and authoritarianism. We live in one of the truly great societies of modern history, as one of the few that never ceases marching forward for our ideals. That's real inspirational shit. The recent victories allowed us to strengthen our presence in West Russia and bring order to distant territories that were recently caught up in anarchy and tyranny right after the departure of the Red Army. As more and more hostile territories are pacified and transferred under the protection of Soviet power, we're now able to consolidate our position in the region. The proposals are coming from various officials to relocate our residents to Rykov, or as was known under the counter-revolutionary leadership, Vyatka, the provisional capital of Syktyvkar, now purged out of bourgeois and fascist elements that overwhelmed the city in the latter years, served the Soviet government well, and its capabilities came as a great aid in the more desperate times. But as the outside situation plays more in our favor, we have an opportunity and move our capital in the central region of West Russia, thus allowing us to entrench ourselves in a more comfortable position. I think it's worth the effort. Let's move to Rykov. Black market trading. I don't think I'll bother with the black market this time. I'll probably just fucking let it be. I mean, armament-wise, it looks like we're mostly good. I mean, yeah, we got everyone's fucking loot from when we conquered them. Smar's just fine against us. Who'da thunk? Who are we going after next? Support weapons 5? Okay, sure. The Battle of Barcelona. How many troops do these guys have? A fractured state. 8 to 14. Okay. So let's say 12. The military district inspires Soviet patriotism. The evaluation of party policy. A key moment has arrived in the party's history. The party's yearly evaluation has arrived. Historically, the party's evaluation has never been a bellwether of change or an early sign of the continuing reign of orthodoxy. With Bukharina on the rise and reformers ascending the party's hierarchy, may seem to a certain victory for reformers, but party evaluators still dominate much of the party orthodoxy. Clearly many of Bukharina's methods have proved effective, but the Old Guard watches carefully for signs of instability progress have gone too far. The question remains, shall orthodoxy take hold once again, or will the reformists take ascendancy? What do we want to do here? Our industrial expertise. I think our schools and our research facilities are stuff we should focus on right now. I'll do research facilities for now. Yep. I expected as much. Well, if it's anything like the last war, it won't be too bad. It's only an occupied state. Occupied state. Actually, we have the front on our side, so this won't be that bad, actually. I didn't mean for you to do that, but it actually doesn't work out too badly. You can go and do that. Evaluation of party policy. The assembly. Is this thing working? I think I'm too close. What do you mean I'm too close? Oh, I need to move my mouth away from the microphone. Okay. The Assembly of the Communist Party of the Republic of Komi is in session. May delegates who wish to set the agenda of today's Congress please rise. And like clockwork, the big three are rising. Already the speaker can already tell what the topic will be. For the Komi Republic's leftists have only really discussed one topic in 100 variations since the split of the Union. Who will take the reins of power now that the left is in control? What can the Republic of Komi do, surrounded as it is by fragments of a socialist dream and the tyranny of generals who beat the people with its shards? Is there really any purpose to fighting for a revolution in a place that has seemed to become numb to it? It's really only one question, the question of all who have their lives' work torn from under them. Who's next and what then? Was it, in other words, to be done? The inaugural opening speech is as good a platform to advance that agenda as any, even if a speaker has no real hope that this shouting match will turn out differently from the others. Even so, it is her formal duty to ensure that decorum is at least attempted. Now she must make a choice. She calls on the speakers to state their opinions. So Dan Patient as ever raises the topic of developing ideological consciousness, lukewarm, boring, but a solid opener to the day's events. Bukharina points out that ideological consensus will not be relevant for very long unless workers experience said ideology's benefits. It proposes instead a discussion of workplace democracy in the Republic. General Secretary Suslov, in his usual dry manner, proposes a merger of the two topics, centralization of workplace unions to the party mandate. Subtle, controlling, and depressingly relevant. Let Bukharina speak. I'm guessing some other stuff might happen, so we'll wait to see what happens there. We actually can't do much from here, so I think we gotta... Bukharina's thought. Let's focus on the war a bit for now. We're not trading the black market, but okay, it makes sense that's increasing then. Sure. Sure. Okay, we'll play your games. You do that and that. Move into Arsk. Already losing a fair few casualties. Deploy them in Semyonov when they're done. Might be just easy enough to just walk. Is it just gonna be where we just walk ourselves to victory? Relax restrictions. Oh, Mr. Carr is up here. My man, Mr. Carr. Pakistan's independent. Interesting. Try to do an encirclement around there, Mr. Truck. Move into Stravanapolga, Navolga. Okay, we're not even trading the fucking black arms market, and it's still saying we're increasing. What the fuck? Substantial. How is it substantial? We aren't doing shit. Substantial my taint. Keep moving. Move down there. Increase Bukharina's influence. Why? We're not doing shit! We're not trading with them. What are you talking about? Traders will never get to tell their side of the story. Tank factory captured. Got that done. Oh, this is blessed. God damn. Fulfilling our promises. Fulfill our promises. We struck the deal with a front. An agreement was made on to begin the process of integrating once Vyatka, Vologda, and Gaini were handled. Now, with their military defeat, the time has come to begin integration. We wholeheartedly expect for the front to follow through on their end, although there are a few who believe that they will sell us out. In any case, let's reach out to the front, to begin the process of integration. Okay, I'm just gonna found some power. That we can use to help us out a little bit. I just found it. Convenient how, you know, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Rifles, artillery. And just in case they try to fuck us, we'll be ready. Okay, we'll go ahead. Relax restrictions. How's this guy doing generalized? The Indonesian War. Prefer independence with poverty to servitude with plenty. I don't know if it's an exact quote or not. It reminds me of the one quote by the one of the Filipino presidents. I think it's Quezon. Said, "We prefer a government ran like hell by Filipinos to a government ran by heaven." Like heaven to by Americans. Kind of reminds me of that. Relax restrictions. Okay, we'll give them a few days, see if they'll merge or not. So with deep disappointment, but no real surprise, that we discovered the true nature of so-called Archangelisk socialists, or as we now know them, the Archangelisk junta. We had, all of us, nursed doubts as to their ideological consistency of men whose guns seem so often to outweigh their convictions. Why did the frontists choose to give their senior generals with unclear connection to their political fiefdoms that were autonomous from their main territory? How could the Revolutionary Front civilian policy not consider the role of autonomous Socialist Party organs in developing ideological devotion to the loyal protector? We now know that the clique of those red-paint jackals in waiting were not confined over their bizarre attempts at opposing socialism at gunpoint. In all truthfulness, this author doubts if the Revolutionary Front was ever truly committed to socialism at all, other than a way to further the cause for bourgeois crypto-nationalism. All illusions must henceforth be dispelled. All hopes released, all expectations destroyed. The truth is that Archangelisk, far from being all salvation, has turned out to be yet another rightist deviation gang of armed men devoted only to perverting the revolution into their twisted, violent image. If there is anything to be learned from the state of affairs, is that our renewed understanding that only a commitment to the party line can assure true loyalty to the revolution. Just think. Had it not been for the Party of the Republic, we'd have been just as prone as any other people in Russia to the disease that is warlordism. We thank our Archangelisk for this, and only this, because of our stubbornness, we've been inoculated from this disease once and for all. We didn't need them anyway. Well, we kind of did. Well, it made them easier that they were here. Well, it seems that our worst nightmares have come to pass. The front has declined our offer to integration. It's obvious the front seeks to conquer Komi, gaining power in the process. There's never a reason for them to suddenly decide to turn against us, their allies. Thankfully, we have a backup plan, war with the front. We must quickly begin to move our troops into position so that we are ready to destroy the traitors to the north. Of course, we must also attempt to keep these actions as secret as possible so that it cannot properly respond to our military. The armies of the front may be experienced, but with luck, we can destroy this upstart junta before it destroys us. Well, we have 12 troops. How many do they have? Relocate the government. Well, where are they going to do that? I was going to check. 8 to 12. So we have roughly the same amount of troops as they do. We can assume 10, so we have a bit more, actually. Chicago has been elected. Horizontal. Nice first. Second, PP50. Oh, look, some more stuff I found on the street. Do we want to go looting? I kinda do. Kinda. Thieves and bandits cannot defeat an army. But you know who could?
Omsk.
Oh, probably not Omsk at this point there. Oh! Oh, okay, yeah. Yazov is dead.
Dmitry Yazov is dead.
The backup plan. B. Relax restrictions on deviation. We'll figure it out in a second. Cut the radio lines. Since we were the closest nation to the front, they relied on our radio lines and networks for communications to the outside world. Let us cut these lines, depriving them of this network. Such action will undoubtedly confuse them, as a sudden vanishing of contacts tends to do, leaving them scrambling at a critical juncture. Furthermore, it seems that some of their border forces relied on our networks to reach Arkhangelsk, so our destruction on this contact will allow us to assault the border, leaving our soldiers unable to get in contact with their superior officers, which prevents our troops from meeting opposition until we've advanced further into the country. Now that is based. I use that word a lot. Too much. Protectionist army. Yeah, Omsk is fucked. My god. Oof. Preparations. Okay, we just need literally like we found enough stuff on the street to finish this off. Expand Bukharina's thought. And that should open up this. If it works how I think it works. Maybe get working on some early fighters. A few early interceptors. Some tanks. No templates for main battle tanks. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. So can we go ahead and do... Yep, we can go ahead and pass the bar. In the history of the early Komi Communist Party, reformers were sidelined at every opportunity. Anyone seeking real change within the party and their larger community were not welcome to speak their thoughts. Fortunately, the party has changed. The reformers, after years of campaigning, protesting, and maneuvering, have passed the bar. The party as a whole is now approves of our actions, even if our ideology is not yet the official theory of the party, or even the one backed with the most popular support. The Orthodox faction are now the ones being sidelined for the first time in years. This development is a monumental point for the development of socialism in Komi. The road is long, but the path is clear. Now reformers must march on. It's not to say that there will be no opposition, and the remnants of the Orthodox faction still remain as a potential threat to changes in the system, and they are enraged that their once dominant ideology is no longer ascendant, but is an opposition that we are sure we can deal with. So we'll start doing that a bit. No divisions in basic training. Shit, we might as well just do 4 at a time. I'm thinking. Yeah, 4 at a time works. Sverdlovsk is going to unify West Siberia again. The Commonwealth is looking pretty based right now. Fairly strong. Irkutsk is probably going to win here, which is not very wholesome chungus of them. I don't know what that means either, so don't fucking ask me. I'll hold off on doctrine work for now. Military construction, that'll work. Passing the bar. The way of a Soviet. There's a new path of the Communist Party. This path is grounded in the people, built from the ground up. No longer will the elite of the Presidium and the Politburo ignore the wishes of the people and spin in the face of Lenin. Bukharina offers a new path, a bright new future for the party. Bukharina's way is a centerpiece in the traditional Soviet, the Peasants' Council that the old Bolshevik is built upon. The Soviets are the mouthpiece of the people. In their numerous opinions and divisions, almost every Soviet, however, is united in the support of Bukharina. She proposes elevating them to their previous level of prominence. This massive base has manifested its power and grassroots support for Bukharina. She is a people's candidate, and so she is the party's. There we are. Honestly, we could probably work, 6 at a time, and we'll be fine. Free city factories. What do we want to build? Military factories. Build some stuff in Samara. There. A bit in Kazan. A little bit in Ufa. Perm. Yeah, we got some good stuff going. We can start building. We can scavenge some loot. Find peace and death. Then we're going after Vokuta. Weight of the Soviets. South Africa is somehow still holding on. Not for long, but still. Welcome, comrade. Bukharina was ushered into the factory. Barely having time to take off her hat, she looked at the wall, seeing a large red banner hang. Oh, that was very nostalgic. She thought of a time she visited factories as a child with her father, always seeing a red banner. It's nice, huh? Bukharina was snapped out of nostalgia by what seemed to be the foreman. I'm the foreman here. He is a foreman. My name's Andre. Sorry if we're a bit overwhelming. They're all real excited to meet you. The workers all aim to see you as the future of Russia. Oh, no worries, Bukharina said. She shook her head, smiling. You know, I met Lenin once. It was the highlight of my year, to be honest. But you know something? I think I'd be happy with you in charge over Lenin, comrade. Your ideas reignited the fire of socialism within me. Thank you, partner. I don't know why I'm Southern. I'm going with it. Bukharina felt overwhelmed, knowing that someone truly loved her as a leader that much. It was one thing to see people from the distance support her, but hearing personal stories always inspired her. Look at me taking up... Look at me taking up your time. There's a recipe factory for you to meet. Bukharina laughed before continuing onwards to the factory. The red dome illuminates the downtrodden workers. Beautiful. Now I'm going to cut it here, folks, so thank you as always for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, go ahead and leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get, and I appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. If you want to send a few bucks my way, for Patreon down below, you can check that out. You can chat and play games on my Discord, and you can check me do this sort of stuff live on Twitch. All those links are down linked below. That's it for now. Thank you as always for watching. My name has been DB333. See you guys next time. Goodbye.